Well, thank you for taking one for the team and tasting it for all of us.
You're listening to Essential Oil Conversations, the podcast for busy women who love natural living, friendship, and a little bit of entrepreneurship too.
All right, Heather, what are we talking about today?
We are going to talk about lemongrass essential oil. And this one, I feel like, has a very distinctive smell that smells very clean. So this one is a great cleanser in multiple ways, whether it's household, but also emotionally, physically, and spiritually.
Mm-hmm. But as far as the scent goes, I always think of Fruity Pebbles, the cereal.
Oh, that's really funny. You said that. I feel like we've talked about it in the past, and I smell it more this time than I feel like I have before.
Yeah, it is clean, but that's what it smells like. And I couldn't even tell you the last time I actually smelled or tasted that cereal, but that's what it smells like to me.
How do you tend to use this one the most?
Diffusing, definitely, because it is, like you said, a clean smell. I think, you know what, I was going to say, I think it has bug repellent properties, but I don't actually see that in my reference book.
I don't either, but I feel like it smells like one of those oils that would fall into that category of like a citronella candle or something like that. I feel like it has similar scent profile to it.
Right, but I'm assuming not as effective, so.
Yeah, don't necessarily go for that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe blend it with the other things that do. So how do you primarily use it?
I'm going to say that I probably use it in the diffuser the most too. I feel like because it smells clean, I tend to use it for that scent. However, in the Essential Emotions book, it talks about how it is the oil of cleansing and how it cleanses all of the physically, emotionally, and spiritually. But it also speaks of if somebody has hoarding tendencies, it courageously helps them let go of everything they no longer need. We are currently in a process of going through our holiday items. All of our holiday stuff is in big bins in our attic, and it just feels like it grows a little bit each year. And yet we also never seem to get rid of the stuff. And so we have more, and we're not getting rid of the things we're not using. So this year we've decided we're going to go through the bins and try to condense as much as possible. It's been a little bit of a daunting process. I feel like, what if we need to use this a year or two from now? Do I really need to save it if we haven't used it for 3 years, though? So I think I am going to start diffusing this oil while we are going through our stuff and see if I can be a little bit more effective and definitive as I'm making those choices.
I think that's a great idea. It's been years since I've seen this, but I remember a few years ago on Facebook seeing somebody, like their before and after pictures of decluttering their desk using this oil as like their motivation and their cheerleader as they went through the process. And it was a great transformation. So I think it's a great idea to do it with stuff like that. And holiday products are hard because, like you said, maybe you'll use it at some point, even though you haven't used it in 3 years. I do know from some of the decluttering people that I like to watch on YouTube and stuff like that, they often say, like, we live in a time and place where you can have just about anything delivered. And I can't remember the exact parameters, and I guess this would be individual for everybody. But if it's something that's going to take up space and it would cost like $20 or less to replace if you ever decide you do need it and you can't find somebody to borrow it from, then go ahead and get rid of it now. And I think that's probably a good, like, decide what your parameters are, but follow something like that would be helpful. And it's interesting that you bring that up as well, because I have a accountability group that's all around health, but we cycle through every month. So 1 month it's nutrition, next month it's some type of exercise, and then the following month it is something to lift mental load and stress.
Okay.
And this month we're in the mental load stress. And so we as a group are actually focusing on decluttering and removing one thing every single day, putting it in the donate pile every single day of the month. So yeah, I might share with them that lemongrass would be a good oil to use during this challenge as well.
So you and I both said that we use it in the diffuser. As I'm sitting here smelling it, I can't quite decide what I usually pair it with. I'm guessing something citrusy is probably what I tend to pair it with, because again, it just has that clean smell. What do you tend to pair this one with?
Either, yeah, I agree. Something citrusy, or I think it would smell good with any of the tree oils as well. So even like a fir oil, it would probably be good with that. I think if you paired it with mint, it would be even more invigorating. So it's already like an energetic oil, but probably even more so for that. But I also think because of the unique smell, it probably is a good one to just diffuse on its own.
Yeah, because either way, it does smell clean. Okay, so this has supplement facts on it. You can use it all three ways. I just pressed some to the roof of my mouth to go ahead and do the taste test. Woo! It is sharp and does not taste like it smells. So I'm going to say that if you do use this one for cooking, it probably needs to be a toothpick oil. See if you like the flavor of it. You can always add more, but wow, it's very, very strong.
Is it strong and you like the flavor?
No.
Okay.
I can't even describe it. It feels almost like a hot oil. Like it's got a sharpness to it. But again, it doesn't taste like it smells. It maybe tastes slightly grassy, herby. But yeah, it's unique. It is a unique flavor.
Well, thank you for taking one for the team and tasting it for all of us. Awesome. Well, anything else on lemongrass?
Well, you can also use this one topically. So if you dilute this oil with fractionated coconut oil or something, it makes a great post-workout massage oil. So whether you combine it with Siberian fir or some of the other oils that are really good for muscles and tendons, that this is a good oil to use in that way too.
Yeah. I'm so glad you pointed that out because that is one of the main things it talks about in my reference book as well.
And I think in your reference books, there's also quite a few other things that we can't even discuss on here.
There are, so many uses for this oil medicinally. So if you don't have a reference book yet, we have a tool that you can download for free. It's linked here in the show notes, but it's our Essential Oil Reference Book Matchmaker. And so it basically gives you a little decision tree and leads you to the best reference book for your personal preferences and needs. So go check that out if you haven't checked that out yet. Also, just want to remind you, this episode is brought to you by Lemongrass. So if you don't own Lemongrass yet, we do have a link in the show notes for Lemongrass as well, and you can get that along with a free membership. So the membership will allow you to get wholesale pricing for an entire year, so 25% off of retail. So go check that out if you don't yet have a doTERRA membership and don't have Lemongrass. And you can always add other things to that cart as well. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening. We'll have a new episode for you soon.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.